What's happening?
Welcome, everybody.
Just Cause, we are back, man. I don't know what made them let us do this again, bro. I don't know what's up, man.
It's because we lock the doors while we're here, so nobody can get in, and they can't drag us out of the office. We won't go.
Right, man. Hey, so anyway, welcome, everybody. Just Cause is back for another edition, man. Is Biden president or what, bro?
I have no idea.
Dude, I don't think nobody knows, man. What's going on, bro? I looked at the news yesterday, and they were like, "That's a wrap. It's pretty much over with."
Yeah. But no.
Biden is the man. From you know what I'm saying, and they just gotta wait for the certifications that's coming. I guess, like in the next coming days, right? The 23rd and 24th. I guess
that's when most of the certifications come.
When they're due.
How could he be? The Trump can't lose things, so.
Right, we're like. The clip that he played, man, it was so funny. They keep playing this clip of him. How could you lose to this guy? I mean, he is the absolute worst candidate in the history of presidents or something. Whatever, however Trump be talking, man, it's crazy, this man. But yeah, man. So I guess got to eat some crow, brother. And again, he's bucking all tradition and courtesies and customs and all of the things that we do in the country with our elections and stuff. And and quite frankly, he's a problem to national security right now. You know what I'm saying? He's like creating issues in the stock market and things like this. So obviously, I'm sure he's like, yeah, it's a good thing, good for me.
That's all he likes. I mean, that's
good for me.
That's his shtick, is like causing controversy.
Yeah. So. Anyway, man.
I don't know if people know. See, Sean just turned down the music. I don't know if people. We have a lot of changes this week, everybody.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping that it's coming across right on the radio,
man.
Music
going in the background.
Yeah. We got
kind of setting the mood for us.
Serenade. Yeah, man. A little Jay Dilley. Can't go wrong with Jay Dilley either, man. Yeah. So anyway, man.
What else is coming up?
We got the Dunce of the week, man. We're gonna bring that back. So what happened was, well, actually, we can back it up a little bit, man. We got a format for this show that we had a podcast before we were on the radio, and we were kind of like, we didn't we're not in our wheelhouse just yet, over the past 2 months or so that we've been doing our show here on 95.7, and so now we kind of got this thing set up where we got our podcast and we're simulcasting with the radio or whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and talk for an hour straight here, man. We might not let the Jay Dilla play in the background the whole time or something, but we got a couple topics that we're gonna run through and talk about and interact with. We got some call-in guests. We have Jackie Abram, who's the author of a new book that's coming out here in the city, and she's going to give us a call. And also Lil D. You guys know Lil D from K-Land Community Cares. He's going to give us a call.
He's been on our show before.
Yeah. He's coming here with with a couple people before, and then so he's got the Black History program coming up. Him and his wife Jen. I think this is on year number 8, I believe it is. I believe it's 8. So yeah, man, they've been pretty persistent and they're keeping this thing going for the community, man. And really,
despite COVID,
yeah, they got the whole thing set up at the Stargazer. It looks like they're gonna have the screen, set up for them. I mean, the camera set up for them to do this thing virtually or whatnot. And yeah, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a
then
good
we get
thing.
to talk about those right-wing riots.
Oh. Man, they was out there tearing it up. Hey, as soon as they found out that Trump was gone, bro, they was like, to the streets.
Yeah.
Stop the count, stop the this, stop the that. I'm like,
stop
man.
the counts, keep the counts, keep counting, don't count.
Right.
Well, so let's get off with, it's so hard with Dunce of the Week because there's too many dunces every week.
I know, there's like...
We were going through,
in fact,
we were like, what do we want to choose for the dunce? So we're just doing dunces of the week.
Yeah, plural.
Yeah, exactly.
Plural. We're behind, man, so
Yeah, we have several months of dunces.
Yeah, so we need to catch up. So I think we're going to go two a week here for a while till we catch up, man.
And who doesn't want to talk about dunces?
Exactly. We got to talk about they stupid behinds right now. Right now.
And no surprises this week, it's cops. I mean, cops could be dunces of the week every week, but these are for specific.
Exactly, man.
Issues.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. So who's the first one? This guy Jason Taft.
Well,
man.
I don't know if anybody had heard about this, but Jason Taft, he's a cop up in Weld County, and Weld County is just like, it's not my favorite part of Colorado. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
It smells like crap up there.
Ding, 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 ding.
But so this Jason Taft guy with delusions of grandeur too. I feel like that's a lot of these like low-level cops, you know.
Right.
He gets on his Facebook after Trump. I'm sure he still doesn't believe Trump lost, but he also does believe that Democrats won.
Man, I thought that was fake, man. There's really people that are doing that.
Yeah.
It's real.
People
man.
out there, no.
Yeah.
But he gets on his Facebook and he says on his Facebook, and I'm like, if you're a cop, maybe you should think about what you're saying on your social media.
Right.
I just can't believe how often they're like this.
Yeah. They just make these idiotic mistakes.
Which is why they're dunces.
True.
So he gets on there and he's like, it's kind of a long quote, but then he like adds comments to his quote, just keeps digging the hole deeper. That's what I like about it. So he says, Democrats, you were scared of Trump, and I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to read because cops, of course, don't know how to use punctuation and spell and things like this.
It was really hard to read, but yeah.
Democrats, you were scared of Trump. Now's the true time to be afraid. We will do what you have done to our cities and prevail. P.S. Please meet me at the battlegrounds. He didn't specify where that was, though. I don't know. Is that like Greeley?
It must be. Who knows, man? They got a stronghold up there, tigging them up there, just ravaging the streets.
Meet you at the battlegrounds, and then he adds a comment on his, because I'm sure people are just like, "What are you talking about? You're a cop." So he has to add his own comments to his posts.
Let me clarify.
Exactly. Nobody's fired me yet. Let's see.
Right.
I'm ready to leave my job just so I can hurt these people that act like they know what real life is about. They are a bunch of, this is the weird one, time out in the corner Billy people. They have no clue the true wrath that's coming. Dems, you thought you made a scene or statement with BLM? Just wait, this will be fun.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still waiting. I'm actually still waiting. I'm still waiting for the fun from this cop
to happen. Yeah.
Especially since he got fired.
Right, rightfully so, man.
Because he posted under his own name on his own social media.
Right.
But this isn't unique. This is just showing us how a lot of cops actually think.
Yeah, we can say, oh, this was a one-off, or they can say it's a one-off. I won't say it because it happens all the time, man. Like all the time. If you spent all of your time looking at the dumb things that cops do on social media and the way that they let their feelings come out, and they're us against them mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's never, okay, I can't say never, that's a pretty absolute word, but I don't ever really see things being brought together. Hey, listen, I'm a cop and I believe that this stuff is legitimate. However, or whatever, you see these things sometimes.
Nuanced conversation.
Exactly. Let's not do this. So anyway, man, we obviously know that this isn't a goal of theirs, and then they'll get hushed up. But every now and then, these guys do real stuff.
I mean, we saw it here locally
that
with
whiskey,
exactly.
The whiskey,
too much Metallica, too much whiskey.
See, usually the cops in Aurora just do it on duty.
Exactly.
They drink in the car and pass out at the stop sign. But man, again, we got another cop that this one was, now that guy was in Colorado, so this is something that this guy is affecting us here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
just like Keith Reed did with his comments, kill them all on the Black Lives Matter.
Right, exactly. So, and I mean, time and time again on social media with Colorado cops, and they're just toxic culture. I think all the way around. They work together pretty closely. You know what I'm saying? And share. One of them gets fired and the cop can go down to the next city and get hired. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely have a network. But
they got a network for the toxic cop.
Yeah, they sure do, man. But so all the way in Arkansas, what they talking about over there, man?
He was the chief of police here too.
Oh, he's in charge.
Yeah, this is the chief of police of, some tiny 1,400 person town in Arkansas. So I'm sure more delusions of grandeur. Like, I'm the chief of police.
Right.
In Marshall, Arkansas. Sorry if there's anybody out there from Marshall, Arkansas. I'm sure it's a lovely place.
Where is that again? Yeah, exactly.
Heard of it.
Like
so
nobody cares, bro.
Like this is the only time Marshall, Arkansas is ever going to be in the news.
Right. Because they're racist
cop.
tendencies. Yeah.
So he gets on his social media after the election results, will you and several hundred, I don't know who he's talking to actually here. This is the good question. I guess his like huge following of like other, you know, chiefs of police of tiny towns in the South.
Oh, okay.
Will you and several hundred more go with me to D.C. and fight our way into the Congress and arrest every Democrat who has participated in this coup? Furthermore,
It continues.
yeah, he's got.
Oh, he's got more
We're
to
talking
say.
about digging. Like that's barely a hole.
Right.
He's gonna just keep digging.
He's got more to say.
We may have to shoot and kill many of the communist, BLM, and Antifa Democrat foot soldiers to accomplish
The
this.
foot soldiers. Oh man.
I like
bro.
that he's like, this is like we may have to.
Right,
He's just
yeah,
like
just
crossing his fingers.
Getting it together, like just in case, guys, you're gonna have to kill some
Communist
blood.
BLM. This is a thing. So many old white people are like communist BLM.
Yeah.
So he continues though. That wasn't the end of it, because he's like, we may have to shoot and kill. Then he's like, I'm just coming straight out with it.
Right.
Death to all Marxist Democrats. Take no prisoners. Leave no survivors.
Leave no survivors. My goodness.
This is I guess he's talking about members of Congress. So I don't know. He got fired, but I wonder if the Secret Service has come to his house. Yet.
I bet not. Well, maybe
the
they have.
Secret Service comes to your house for a lot less.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about that. They, and then Kenosha happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like this guy of stature, like somebody who's respected, and
Yep.
like seriously, like. We laugh about whatever the place is called.
Marshall,
but
Arkansas.
yeah, he is the chief there. So and
Yes.
there's somebody there is like, oh, he's the chief of police, like for real. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And they're gonna go do whatever this chief is thinking up, and or they would do it. I don't
Right,
know if they
totally.
really are going to, but they would.
But
I
I
don't
mean,
doubt.
the more and more these ideas get introduced into people's minds,
Right.
the more they're like, And you're like you said, he's like a person that's in charge of a like seemingly legitimate institution for a lot of, especially like white folks, right?
Yeah.
And this is what's crazy. I was listening to the radio. This guy was driving around with militias on election day. They were
Yeah.
the militias were going from polling place to polling place to
Oh,
polling
wow.
place to make sure there was no like communist BLM
Oh,
Antifa hijinks.
My God, man.
And they're like, they're
that's
like,
illegal, dude. You can't do that.
well, they weren't like, they were just like, they sent a guy in, they got their walkie-talkies, they're
Right,
real
right.
in their war setting. And they were like,
Make them
no problems.
Scaring people. Yeah, that's crazy.
But
Imagine
the
that.
interviewer
You're the only
asked,
problem here.
yeah, exactly. The interviewer asked, he's like, but do you really think this is going to happen? And the guy's like, well, Trump has said this is going to happen. And he's like, but don't you think Trump could just be playing politics? And the guy was like, I don't know. He doesn't come across as that type of guy. And I was like, dude, this is like where you realize you're in a totally different reality than some people.
Yeah, like deer in the headlights. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? Yeah,
Because
man.
he's like, well, he's the president of the United States. Why would he be playing politics? He seems like
man,
a real
poor
like,
guys, man. Goodness
and
gracious.
just like this, all of these people that are like actually out in the streets of DC right now, they're like, we love you, Trump.
Yeah.
They think that he's like a real like stand-up guy that wouldn't play politics. Well, he's the president. Why would he do that?
Right. Why would that happen?
Which
right,
is
exactly.
insanity, because their whole critique of the presidency is like, well, politicians always, they're always playing politics. They always
Exactly.
lie. And my whole thing with Trump is like, he's a snake oil salesman. Like, who doesn't know this?
Yeah.
But apparently there's like a good 70 million people
That want it,
in
man.
the country that don't realize
like
this.
the
I don't know.
second most people that's ever voted, man. Just for a second, man, if we could just talk about like the accomplishment that was and what that really meant, and stood for, and what it showed us in the fact that people were really being oppressed, man. There was really voter suppression and oppression that was happening in this country since forever, since whenever it started, and that this year was the first time that all of these people voted, and because they had an actual opportunity to do so. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's great. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel good to know that, like, okay, well, at least everybody had a chance and they took their chance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like the record amounts of people voted this year. You know what I'm saying? And it's a record-setting thing. Of course, Trump is
Like,
yeah. All right, 70 million votes, the most by any sitting president.
Most
ever.
by any losing president. I mean, that's an interesting
Losing
metric.
president.
That's the most a losing president's ever gotten.
Right. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I was disturbed that he got, what is
That
it,
many.
8 million more votes or something than
Than he
did
did
That
last year.
means-
Shows it
that
wasn't a
means-
fluke.
yeah.
It wasn't a fluke, bro.
Yeah, people are like, they saw the last 4 years and they're like, You know?
You know what? I should have voted last time.
Yeah, maybe I should. You know, more people actually were.
Yeah.
This
They're
time,
like,
which is
dang, I should have
insanity.
voted last time. I'm gonna do it this time. Yeah, man. Yeah. So you know, one thing I said on social media was that I'll never. I guess the word is like not trust the people. You know what I'm saying? To know that the people will do the right thing, and obviously that is what happened. Thank God, because I mean, you know, that's a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had to be like, yo, I don't care what we're talking about here. That guy has got to go. You know what I mean? And it was just to think about how many people that was is just amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just amazing to me. And then, you know, again, with Colorado being one of the first states to, you know, finish the count, get everything certified and done, you know, like within the day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they were certified that day, but got everything done in one day. You know, next time it'll be better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they said
And we
that this
had,
was
like,
the most
record,
secure election that we've ever had.
When we had, was it in Colorado, we had 82 point, at least the last time I checked, it was 82.5% turnout. What's crazy though is in El Paso County, only 66% turnout.
Really?
So it was, El Paso County was one of the lowest turnout counties in the state.
Huh.
Which, I mean, I have my
I
own
wonder
theory
how
about. I think it's because a lot of Republicans in El Paso County don't like Trump.
Right. And they were
I
just
don't know,
like,
maybe somebody
I'm gonna,
school us on this.
yeah, that's weird. And I wonder if it was the Republican vote or the Democratic vote.
Yeah, I
that
don't know, I'm
stayed out.
curious. Well, Trump didn't win by a huge margin in El Paso County, actually.
Huh.
Which, I mean, is.
Yeah, I didn't even look at those numbers, man. I wonder. Yeah, we should look at that, man, because you know, in the 4th district, the thing was that like 40% of the district doesn't vote.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So I'm hoping that that we did something about that.
Yeah, district by district. It'd be good to look district by district.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out for next week, man. Take a note, Quan.
Precinct, yeah. Precinct by precinct. Hey, what the?
Yeah, where's she? I know it's all right. So hey, our producer's at work, man. She got
a
nothing.
real
She
job
acting like
that
we
she
don't
gets-
pay her enough over here or something. You know what I'm saying? It's all right. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway.
Oh, we have one final dunce.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah,
I don't
man,
know if you guys.
Oh my God, man.
You guys have to fight. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna post the video on our live stream just because you have to see the video.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook now.
Check out
everybody
the,
in the car driving or whatnot.
Check out the live stream of Just Cause. Sorry for guys in their cars. Let's see if I can find the video. But there's Trump supporters. You know, in Philadelphia, they had like dueling protests outside where they were counting the ballots in Philadelphia. And the Trump side, they were all waving flags, but the I don't know, the not Trump side was playing some Rage Against the I don't know who was playing Rage actually, but somebody was playing Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of, which is like the most anti-cop song. It's like basically about how cops are Klan members.
Yeah, and it's like you know, like it's Uck the Police by NWA.
Yeah,
it's that,
it's
but you know,
essentially
like,
that, exactly.
Yeah, on that genre.
It's pretty straightforward
like,
too. I thought that was pretty straightforward.
The police, man.
But these Trump supporters, one, she's got her Blue Lives Matter flag tied around
draped around her neck,
and she's singing along with "Those who died are justified for wearing the flag or badge of the chosen white." Like,
yeah,
I don't know if she just is like.
She knew the words to it too.
She knew the words.
Just delusional, man. You know, just
completely delusional.
Yeah, so we're gonna put that link on the live feed here, on the Just Cause live feed on Facebook, and you know, again, I say, man, I truly believe this. Now, listen, man, I'm a 20-year veteran, United States Army. I completely believe that people should be able to do and say what they want to do and say. I believe that Donald Trump is the first American that deserves to have his freedom of speech taken from him. Just the way he just is not allowed to talk to the public
like
ever again. Yeah, like like you can't even put him on TV.
Sew his mouth shut.
Right, like, man, you better not put Donald Trump on your channel. You better not. You like that kind of talk. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. Because, man, this guy, you know, people are damaged by the things that he's done, man. I really believe that he mentally abused these people. I know it's hard. It's like funny to say it, but you know, if you think, if you just think about what it takes for somebody to do that, for this thing to had happened, what we saw all in front of our faces with these people, he basically created a cult, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's not far off. I don't, I wasn't there, but I read books and I saw what Hitler did.
Yeah.
The people love that dude.
Yeah.
They loved him. This is another thing where I'm thinking, even if, say that the left ends up winning everything, and there's a socialist president that comes in, and the left is like, yes, finally, you know what I'm saying, or whatever they call him. That person might be the one you got to be most careful of. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody will just give him the power, like yes, or her the power. Take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, that's the one that you got to be worried about. You know what I mean? Because
Like
everyone,
demagogues.
exactly, like yeah, we're gonna give you exactly what you want. The people, and the people will just give all the power away. And we see it. We see that there are people that are willing to. What did he say? Go into the whatever state house and death to all Marxist Democrats.
Yeah, exactly.
You may
Because
have
Trump,
to kill one of them.
Yeah, because Trump said.
Because Trump said it.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it, man. So and then just imagine if it were like.
And he's
provable.
the chief of police.
Yeah, and he's like he really does have real guns and people that he can
Power,
send into
yeah.
places to do these things. So just imagine if there were real evidence though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like if something really were provable or implausible that this did happen or whatnot, like, bruh, it would go down, man.
Yeah.
And we got to have some way to counterbalance these things. So being careful on how much we love these people and let them take out whatever it is,
Yeah,
liberties and freedoms
hero
that we
worship.
got. Yeah,
We don't
exactly.
need hero
We don't
worship,
need it,
just
man. We don't need
get rid
it,
of
man.
it.
Yeah.
But that brings us to the news of, like, what is going on? What do you think's going on with Trump's refusal to leave? Like, is this real? Does he really think that he's going to stay in office for the next 4 years?
Yeah.
He's obvious. Like, it's a
There are-
bonkers thing.
I mean, but he has people on the news that are saying this. The press secretary is like, well, we're planning on another term here, so we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
The president will be at his own inauguration.
And
I said, oh my God, man.
And are they just because Trump likes to mess with people.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, is like just his entire administration is like, oh, this will be funny.
Right.
Oh, let's own the libs. Let's mess with them and pretend we're not going to go.
Yeah.
But he's actually doing things that are like
he's looking like he's not
like
going to
he's
go.
not going to go.
Well, in theory, I see Trump trying to run again in 2024.
So I've been wondering about this, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like after he loses this and throws his little temper tantrum, are people really going to go back to him?
70 million of them.
Do you think they'll say
Yeah,
at what point do they realize that he's just like kind of a pathetic loser?
Well, if he bases it off of the fact that it was stolen from him,
Right.
and he stands on this, and then he's like, I'm not giving any concession, I'm not doing any of that, I'll leave. Of course, I'm gonna respect the sanctity of this place, and or
he
this
grumbles
seat,
for the next 4 years.
and then runs again. Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't
I don't
know.
know,
I mean,
man.
I'm
He's
curious.
hopefully. I mean, how old is he, man?
He's 70.
Goodness, man. I don't
Six
like.
or
He's too.
something like
I mean, come on, bro.
Like he's already losing his mind. What's his
Right,
mind gonna look
right.
like in 4
4
more
years.
years?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I
we'll
mean-
just let attrition. What is that? Is that the right word, attrition? No.
Is that, I guess it could be. Yeah. I don't-
Okay,
like,
cool. Let attrition take place.
Yeah.
Somebody let me know if that's.
But
the
that's
right word.
also just like Joe Biden too. So
right. He's the oldest president, man. The oldest president got the most votes in American history.
yeah, the two oldest.
Sleepy
both
Joe.
got the.
Yeah, man.
But so I don't know. I've been watching this Trump thing, and I've been wondering, like, is this real or is this a temper tantrum? But there's also the fact that he's on, I'm on his like fundraiser please, because
Oh,
we
yeah,
signed up to
yeah,
get
yeah,
tickets.
yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with Sam. And some of the news is starting to cover this, but he's been sending out all these pleas, like, you need to help me with my legal fights, and we have all these legal fights. These, like you said, these vague BS things that he's
Right.
just throwing out there, like fraud. There's fraud
There's
out there.
fraud.
No specifics.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, exactly.
No, for real, man. We know that already, bro.
Exactly. But at the bottom of these mailers that he's sending, or the emails, he's raising money for his legal costs, supposedly, to like fight the Democrats, fight the communist BLM, Antifa, Democrat, Marxist, whatever.
Yeah.
It says 60% of funds raised will actually be used to pay off campaign debts.
Huh.
And apparently,
Wait, how much? 60%?
60% of the money that's being raised to fight legal battles
Is really for the campaign
is actually
debt.
really paying off campaign debt because
Yeah.
he raised very little money compared to Joe Biden. Joe Biden had like 3 times more money than Trump for his campaign, and so Trump in the last couple weeks was basically just building up debt.
Right.
And my thing with Trump is like he's always just figuring out ways to make money. It's always just about him getting rich.
That's it, man.
Like how can he screw
Right.
people over to get rich?
Exactly. And then there was this thing I saw. We were just talking about that. The base of everybody that voted for him only represented 30% of the GDP.
Oh yeah. The areas of the country that voted for Trump are basically the
poorest in the nation.
Yeah.
And these are the people that he's like, hey, I need some money from you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're
Exactly.
like it's like a dirt bag, the dirt baggest thing you could do.
Well, I mean,
and it's all just to pay your debt, right? Or to get rich off it. Yeah, he
Yeah,
knows
that's
it,
what
and
he knows. That's
they'll
what
do
his entire life has been.
Right.
Or like when he hired immigrants to work, like Polish immigrants or something, to work on his hotels.
Yeah.
And then didn't pay them. It was
Didn't
like,
pay
what?
them.
What are you gonna do?
You can't do anything about that.
Want to go back to Poland? I mean, I'm sure Poland's fine.
Right.
Just go back. I'd much rather be in Europe than working for Trump. I think that's a good theme for a song, actually. Working in Poland rather than working for Trump.
I was like, wait, what? Yeah, okay, I'll go with it, John. I'll go with it. All right, man.
But that's what I think it is. I personally think like A, he just can't accept defeat ever.
Right.
And B, he's just like, well, I could make some money off. I don't know why both of us have Bush as our Trump impersonation.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, like
I do
you're
Bush, yeah.
here. Do your impersonation of Trump not leaving office.
Oh, I ain't leaving. Hold on, wait. Give him a chair. I ain't leaving. Oh, I do sound like
Yeah,
like
that's a W.
like a Dallas, Rich Dallas oil man. Yeah. All right,
Or like
man.
Ross Perot.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and get into a song real quick, man. Take a break. We've been going 36 minutes. We hope you guys are enjoying the new format. And this just cause, man. Get back with us. Hold on.
All right. What's up, everybody?
Take a quick break, man.
We had to
Talk to the people on live here real quick, man. So, these things downtown, bro.
Man, this week has been crazy, right?
I know, dog.
Think about our last show. Biden had just been declared
why we were on air.
victor. Yeah,
Right.
basically.
Yeah.
And ever since then, the right has been,
Tripping.
yeah, exactly.
Acting a
that's
fool out here.
Exactly.
You know, they were downtown. You got the story up there?
Well, yeah, they were. I don't have it pulled up actually, but there were like, I think there were like 400 people from like suburban Denver, which
Right.
you know, as a Colorado Springsian, it just really annoyed me. Well, stay
Right.
up there.
Right.
Like we don't need you down here.
That was the only thing that almost made me go out there,
Yeah,
man.
same.
The
Well, that wasn't the only thing. There's
yeah.
dozens of things that almost made me.
Yeah,
go.
I know.
Sean
You-
basically was like, "Dude, John, why?"
Yeah, calm down.
All day
Calm
last
down.
Saturday.
Mhm.
But it was like 400 right wingers from suburban Denver decided it was too dangerous, too hot up in Denver. We
Right.
can't carry our guns at the Capitol, so let's go to
So
City
we're gonna
Hall.
go down there and mess up in their city.
Yeah.
You know, which was okay. You know, I thought about this. You know, on the face of it, it looked like they were doing what everybody else was doing this summer. You know, except for there were small things that people don't recognize. You know, on the face of it, it looks like, oh, they were doing the exact same thing.
Well, except they're rallying around their
Right, around
leader
there,
rather than around an issue about people getting killed in the streets by people with authority.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, I mean, well, I was gonna get to that point. Like, it's really not even a real thing that they're talking about. But what they're doing is, you know, there were broken windows. Cars were,
Yeah,
you know,
people's cars
bashed
were
in.
attacked.
There were no guns being pointed at them from the top of the
Yeah,
bus
that would be-
station over there. You know, there was a lot of stark differences. You know, they were left alone and let to raise HELL because they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, ding, 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 ding. But
with their giant Trump flags that
right,
they spent lots
exactly.
of money on, apparently.
Right, for what, bro? But anyway, like, who cares? Like, whatever,
Okay.
man. Like,
What's your
it's
thing?
a stark difference when you see us out there with our, like, you know, man-made everything. We made it because
Yeah.
we're broke. You know what I'm saying? We
Cardboard
don't
and
have
like cheap paint.
$200 to pay for a flag or whatever that are available. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's just a whole lot of things that are different, man. And there's different reasonings why people are motivated to go out and do these things. But though, again, man, 70 million of them voted for this dude, man. 70 million of them, and I mean, hundreds of thousands of them in Colorado voted for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it gets to a point where trying to change somebody's ideology is just stupid. It doesn't even, it's literally.
Well, especially when they don't even have an ideology.
Right.
Trump supporters, if you ask why they like Trump,
yeah.
Have you ever gotten a straight answer from a Trump supporter about why they like Trump?
Nah.
And their policies, the things that they're like, well, Trump did all these things. Trump has passed some what would be considered as sort of liberal things like prison reform.
Yeah.
But he's also done super, super reactionary things. And his supporters are like, he did this, he did this, he did this, and it's like, but
what is that?
What do you like about that? Are you a progressive or are you a reactionary?
Right.
Exactly. Like, I'm just a Trump supporter.
I'm just a Trump guy, yeah, man,
exactly.
or girl or whatnot. And if the guy would just go out on the things that he did do well for their party, it would be fine. Like he does have some accomplishments that he could say that, I ran on this stuff and I did these things. Holla at y'all, you know what I'm saying? But of course not. This is not something that is in his DNA, man. So again, you're in the street protesting for this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where he does obviously have other options and
yeah.
other things that he can recourse, and the way that he should be acting or whatnot is up for question. But yeah, man, it doesn't make much sense that they're out here breaking windows. The cops are allowing them to stand in the middle of the medians and do these things that was obviously a no-go when we were standing out there for Black Lives.
I mean, when we go downtown, the cops are immediately down there.
Yeah.
And they're usually
waiting.
Have set up skirmish lines somewhere.
Right.
Full riot gear. I mean, that's not always the case, but I've been out in the streets enough in Colorado Springs that
percentage at a time, yeah.
there's, they're out ready to do battle
Right.
with protesters in the streets. And there were cops down there, but they were very hands off. They were far away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then when they started to go in the streets,
They let them.
they were okay, we'll just block the
it off.
streets for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And they never declared it an illegal assembly.
Right.
Which I'm not sure what it is for the police that makes them decide what's an illegal assembly. At what point do they get to decide this is an illegal assembly?
Yeah. Whatever they feel like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's the thing. My whole beef with all these things is if it's the law, it's the law, man.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get to selectively apply these things to what you do and don't like or what fits your likability as the police chief or whoever you are making decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And obviously those things aren't for the people. Or for the good of the people in most cases.
Yeah,
well,
we know too, as we just talked about, that most cops really kind of agree with these folks.
Yeah.
And the police unions all supported Trump. It's just so political from top to bottom too.
Right.
Is what we see. I mean, like you said, they were out in the streets. They were hitting people's cars when they drove by. People that we know. They smashed a window of a person that drive by. Never said, "Oh, this is an illegal assembly."
Right.
They never declared it a riot.
Didn't.
For sure.
Did not.
As far as I know, and I know a lot of folks were. I was on Twitter being at CSPD.
Right. Yeah.
Why aren't you calling
Doing
this a
this
riot?
stuff.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Why
Yeah.
aren't you declaring this an illegal assembly?
And there's no reason why. And again, who knows what they'll do, man? Who knows? There's really no rhyme or reason when they applied the law.
I mean, yes, there is. But
Well, I guess, yeah, if you're the right hue, then you know
Yeah.
what to do. Hey, man, we'll be right back, man. We got Miss Jackie.
So we have a special calling guest with us right now. That's why we had to we're like, oh, we got a call.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah, so we got Miss Jackie Abrams here. She's the author of a new book called Hush Money. And we really didn't get any facts from her. We wanted to talk about it fresh on the radio. So, Miss Jackie, are you there? Can you hear us still?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you just fine. So, so introduce us to your book, Hush Money. What's it about and what you got going on with it?
Okay. So let me just give you a little bit of background information. I am one of 3 authors for a new book called Hush Money, How One Woman Proved Systemic Racism in Her Workplace and Kept Her Job. This is a project that my daughters and I started earlier this year, and we were inspired to write this book after the brutal killing of George Floyd, and also I said, she worked a lot of dead-end jobs, that paid her minimum wage, but she finally got an opportunity to work for an organization, a well-known organization, that put her one step closer to achieving the American dream.
Oh, okay.
And I can go on and on.
No, we're listening. I'm like, no, don't stop.
Yeah.
Please don't stop.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so yes, so is this a book? What inspired you to write the book, and where did this story come from?
So this is a story that's inspired by true events, and I want to make that very clear. This is not a compilation of events that happen to multiple people. This story showcases all of the events and sequences that occurred to this young woman, Ebony. So really what Hush Money does is it tells a story that's all too familiar to many Black people, not only here in the United States, but across the globe. And it does it through the eyes of Ebony. So as I mentioned, she finally got a job where she was put one step closer to achieving her American dream, right?
Right.
But immediately after she started that job, that American dream turned into a nightmare because she became a victim of racism. And the racism was so systemic and pervasive that it followed her throughout her entire career, which spanned a course of 5 years. And through a sequence of horrifying events that occurred during this time frame, Ebony, who was once this strong, vibrant individual with confidence that just permeated throughout her being, she lost that through the course of the 5 years as she was stripped of all dignity, confidence, and strength. And so I don't know if you've ever known anyone that's gone through an experience like this where you are dealing with systemic racism and you are dealing with systemic racial discrimination.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But it takes a toll on you, and it affects every fiber of your being.
Right.
But you want to keep this job because in Ebony's case, she had a child who was depending on her. She was living in poverty and trying to care for her mother. So she wasn't in a position where she could pick and choose whether, okay, they're treating me bad here, so I can just quit this job and go somewhere else, because she needed that income to survive and to take care of her child and to help her mother.
Right.
So she found herself facing several truths and weighing the options that were available to her. So one of the options that her family and friends encouraged her to do was to suffer in silence. Don't make waves, don't say anything, you need to keep your job. But then internally she's like, I'm on the verge of a breakdown here. I'm at my breaking point. Maybe I should just quit because I need to keep my sanity.
Right. Goodness.
Okay?
Yeah.
But then, she tried to wait it out, hoping that things would improve, and as they got progressively worse, she became tired of waiting to be unjustly fired, because what was happening throughout her career is, she started out being a superstar. But as these racist individuals targeted her, they started setting her up, and before she knew it, they were trying to fire her unjustly. And she decided, I see the writing on the wall. These people are setting me up. They're trying to make me look like I'm a bad employee, that I am incompetent when I know I'm a superstar.
Right.
And I'm not going to wait for them to fire me, because I need this job. And I'll tell you something else. Things were so bad for Ebony, she even considered killing her boss. She went into darkness. And she craved it. She's like, you know what? And I can read you a chapter that'll make the hairs on your back stand up.
I bet you could. I'm already like, wait, hold on, I want to go get this book.
So, but it does have a happy ending, though, correct?
Right? Yeah. Does it have a happy ending, or are we gonna end up mad? Is it Mississippi Burning? We gonna be? Hold on. Yeah.
I promise you. By the end of her 5 years, she brought that company to their knees.
All right.
But
My goodness.
Well, that sounds,
That sounds deep, man.
yeah, it does. It does. And I noticed it's got 5 stars on Amazon.
Yeah, it's
So-
got great reviews.
Yeah, and you said this
Oh,
is
yeah.
like, it's fictional, but it's sort of rooted in reality, right?
It's inspired by a true story, and there's a lot of emotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you could tell, and honestly, just by hearing you talk about the book, I hear stories from my life, from people that I love and care about, that's been through, things that are, they could relate to this thing,
Yeah,
and so it
definitely.
sounds like it's a very relatable story, and my goodness, I want to hear you read it. So I'm sure it's like it's going to come across very well, and I'm hoping that people are already liking it and buying it and things like this. So is it on the shelves already? Is there where can we do this thing at here in the city?
It's available on Amazon, and it can be purchased right now in 2 formats. One is a paperback for $14.99 because I know a lot of people are like me, and they want to hold something in their hands that's tangible. People like to flip the pages.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
But
definitely one
in
of
this
those.
day and age, we have a lot of millennials who prefer to do things through their cell phones, through their tablets, or through their laptops. So for those millennials that just want to see it on their phones or on their laptops or tablets, it's also available in an ebook format, which really transfers very well to all of those modes.
Right.
And that's for $9.99.
All right.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go get that.
You mentioned the reviews. The reviews are phenomenal, and it just warms my heart to know how many people can relate to this book.
Right.
Because I have to tell you, this book is really designed for, 2 types of individual readers, but then there's a third type of reader that I want to introduce you to.
Okay.
If you are someone who is going through racial discrimination right now in your job, and you don't want to suffer in silence, you don't want to quit to keep your sanity, you don't want to wait until they set you up and fire you, this book is for you.
Right.
Because by the end of this story, Ebony is transformed from a racial discrimination victim to a racial discrimination victor. And she puts herself in a position of such power that is so strong in that organization that not only did everybody get fired after she was done with them, but she was able to negotiate a 6-figure settlement, keep her job, which is unheard of, and get all sorts of extra bonuses and benefits on top of that, because the way she set that company up and proved systemic racism was so concrete and ironclad, they had no choice but to let her dictate what her terms were. Because
Nice.
they didn't want it to get out in fear of what it would do to their reputation and their character as an employer and an organization. Does that make sense?
It does make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
It does make sense. I'm glad that happened.
I mean, honestly, now I just want to know the true events it's based on, because I want to know the company.
Right, yeah, I want to know who did this.
Where's this at?
Who did this?
So
Right.
you're doing a book signing here in Colorado Springs coming up pretty soon, right?
Yes, we have a book signing event on Saturday, December 5th. It is at Design Your Life in the Chapel Hills Mall.
Okay.
And the event is going to run all day from about 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., to give people time to, come in at a time that's convenient for them, meet the authors, get their book. What I encourage you to do is to get your book on Amazon before the event, because we will have a stock of books there, but it's going to be cheaper for you to buy your book ahead of time through Amazon. So that's what I encourage you to do.
Okay.
At the book signing, performances by Affliction Music will also take place, and we will provide food. So it's just going to be a really fun, engaging experience, and to give you a chance to read, to meet the authors and actually have the authors do some reading of the book for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds great. So I want to tell everybody right now, get it now so you can read it
Right.
before she comes, and then get it signed, and then actually
talk to her about
Talk to her about the book.
Yeah.
I know oftentimes I go to book signing events and I'm like, I buy the book and then I just get it signed and I haven't actually read it because I just bought it. So
Right.
give yourself some time, guys.
Right.
Read
Yeah,
the book.
Yeah. Talk to her about it. This is amazing, and you tell the story so well. It's like, gosh, I need to go. I'm an ebook guy. I need somebody to read it to me, and I'll just sit there and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Audible.
Yeah.
It's not
I
on
mean, the
Audible,
Audible.
is
I
it?
did Audible. Yeah, I need the Audible version. But anyway, I make my son read something to me, and I'll read some. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, as I had mentioned earlier, you know, this book is great for the person that's experiencing racial discrimination. But it's also great for the people, and there have been so many this year, people of all different races, or even black people who have never experienced racial discrimination themselves. But people who have never experienced it, but really want to get a deeper understanding of what we go through and
Yeah.
what it looks like in the live environment. You know, everybody knows that racism and racial discrimination is illegal. But
Right.
if you've never experienced it, it's hard for you to empathize with those who have. So what this book does is it shows you, I mean, in your face, this is what it looks like in the live environment. This is modern day racism, modern day racial discrimination, and it just helps you see things through the eyes of a black person. And then most importantly in my mind is this book is for employers.
Huh.
Organizations and employers who want to change the culture in their organizations. They want to educate their supervisors and their employees and their managers and their executives so that they don't find themselves the victims
Right.
of an employee who knows how to do this,
Right.
how to set them up and turn the tables on them.
Right.
Because it's a nightmarish position for an employer to be in as well.
Right, you know what I mean, and for them to fix their practices if they are in the crosshairs there to get it together before you get caught. You know, I guarantee you that is a very poignant part of this thing here, because the employer and the people who are the oppressor, understanding what it is that they're doing, even if it is something that you're not doing on purpose and it's just something you're not thinking about. You know, the implicit bias behind some of these things and the way that you treat people is pervasive, and being able to see that in a storyline like this, I guarantee would help. So yeah, that's fantastic, and gosh, man, I mean, it looks like everybody can benefit from this book. You know, if you're a victim of it or if you're the one doing it, you know, you can learn from this thing.
That's right. There's something in this book for everyone. And, you know, I don't know how much time we have, but if you want, I can introduce you to a little more about Ebony's story. I can read a little bit to you if you want.
Yeah, we could do that. But we're gonna go to a commercial real quick. We got to get our next call lined up, and I think we could come back and finish talking about Ebony. It'll line up perfectly, I think. And yeah, so here, give us a second. We're gonna pay some bills, and we'll be right back, y'all. All right.
We're back, everybody. Continuing with the conversation with
Miss Jackie Abram, the author of her new book here called Hush Money, man. And she told us a great story, and we're going to talk about one of the main characters in the book called Ebony. You want to back us up for some of the people that might not have caught everything, Miss Jackie, and yeah, tell us a little bit more about Ebony.
Okay. So again, the book is called Hush Money: How One Woman Proved Systemic Racism in Her Workplace and Kept Her Job. And this tells a compelling story about someone who was a victim of racial discrimination, and through a sequence of trials and errors and a lot of horrific events, she was actually able to turn the tables on her tormentors. And over a 5-year period, towards the end, she changed from being a racial discrimination victim into a racial discrimination victor.
Nice.
By developing a strategy that was so ironclad and so precise that she brought the organization to their knees and negotiated her terms, including a 6-figure settlement and the ability to keep her job, among a lot of other things. So what I thought I would do right now is just a little bit of background information. At this point in her career, things were going very well. She had went through some harassment earlier, but that seemed to be squashed, and there were no more issues. And she was excited that her career was finally back on track after that turmoil. And so I'm going to start right there with Ebony meeting her new boss, and then what happened from that point. So her new boss, by the way, was a gentleman by the name of Malcolm, and gentleman is not really the appropriate word for this person.
A monster.
But this was her new boss, okay? So, and that happens to a lot of people in their lives. They'll think they're in a job that's going so well, they're really clicking with their boss, they have a great experience, and then something happens, and that boss is no longer there, and now they've got a new boss. So that's what happened to Ebony.
Okay.
So Ebony says that Malcolm seems like a nice man, and he was a seasoned student finance professional with many years of experience under his belt. And initially I was excited to learn from his leadership. It became apparent very quickly, though, that he didn't share my enthusiasm. Right from the start, LaToya and I noticed that Malcolm treated us differently than others in our department. It started out with small things like excluding us from lunch gatherings and offering snacks to everyone except us. But then he started holding team meetings without us and requiring us to constantly work the late shift while everyone else went home on time. One day I poked my head into his office where he was working at his desk. "Do you have a moment?" I politely asked. "Not really," he replied, avoiding eye contact with me. "What do you need?" "I was wondering if it's possible to have team meetings that include everyone, so we can all be on the same page," I said. "LaToya and I feel like we're missing important information that's being shared with others." "You don't say," he said with a chuckle. "Here's the deal, Ebony. If there's something I feel you need to know, I'll be the first one to tell you. Anything else?" "No, that was it." There was an awkward silence for several seconds as he stared at me, and I stared back at him. Disappointed, I turned and walked away, and could feel his hazel eyes burning a hole in the back of my head until I exited his office. Afterwards, I pulled LaToya aside and told her what happened. "He's obviously a racist," I said. "No," she said, shaking her head. "Maybe he got issues with you questioning his authority, and I don't want no part of whatever's going on in that head of yours." I could tell I was making LaToya nervous and didn't want to press the issue or alienate her in any way. So I dropped it and we both went back to work. But try as I might, I couldn't get my concerns about Malcolm being a racist out of my mind for the rest of the day and most of the night. The next morning, I pulled LaToya aside again. "Toy, he's discriminating against us, plain and simple, and it's going to get worse if we don't do something. Do you think we should complain to Miss Kelly?" "Oh, hell no!" LaToya exclaimed, all fired up. "That's a great way to get fired, and ain't nobody got time for that. Complaining is white people stuff. And anyway, we don't have no proof." "Proof," I said passionately. "He's openly treating us different. Anyone who..." "Stop, girl, dang," LaToya said, forcefully interrupting me. "Even if he is discriminating against us, at least we still have jobs. Miss Kelly will fire us both if we complain." I paused for a moment to collect my thoughts because I knew she was right. Then I calmly explained that I read our anti-discrimination policy, and it said employees can report discrimination anonymously by calling corporate's confidential hotline and leaving a message. According to the policy, once it's reported, corporate will conduct an investigation, and Miss Kelly will never know who submitted the complaint because the information will be kept strictly confidential. After thinking about it for a minute, LaToya nodded her head and sighed. "Okay, girl, this could work, but I ain't making the call," she said. "No worries," I replied. "I'll make the call tonight." When I got home, Mom was sitting at the dining table mixing a cup of baking soda water. "Hey, honey, how was your day?" she asked, looking at me with dark circles under her eye and sounding a little tired. "Long. I'm glad to be home. You feeling okay, Mom?" "I'm constipated and my stomach's upset. Must have ate something bad." Then Mom chugged baking soda water down, kissed me on my forehead, and went off to bed. I wasn't planning to keep Mom in the dark about what I intended the anonymous hotline using my best fake accent to disguise my voice. I'm an employee at the main campus. I'd like to file a complaint against Malcolm Webb, the Associate Director of Student Finance. He's discriminating against his Negroes. He's excluding them Negro folks from meetings and lunches, sharing his snacks with everyone else, and forcing them to work late while everyone else gets to leave on time. I hope y'all will investigate. As I hung up the phone, I felt good, knowing I had done the right thing and confident that all would be well. Now hindsight is 2020, and looking back, reporting discrimination anonymously was absolutely the wrong thing to do, because corporate didn't conduct the investigation themselves like the policy said they would. Instead, they notified Miss Kelly that an anonymous discrimination complaint was received and instructed her to investigate it. And since it was more important to her to find out who the rat was than to actually conduct an investigation, she used the process of elimination to flush out the guilty party.
Imagine that.
Yep.
That's how it goes. My goodness. Well, I tell you what, Miss Jackie, I'm definitely going to get that book, and I'm going to be talking about it here in a couple days.
He's gonna make me read it too.
Right. Yeah, I need John to read it, because this is like right there. I just took it, all of that. I feel like you know what I'm saying. I grasp it better when I'm read to. Is that okay,
No,
John? Is there something wrong with that? Okay, all right. Okay. Well,
What I encourage you to do, please take a minute, find the book on Amazon, Hush Money, How One Woman Proved Systemic Racism in Her Workplace and Kept Her Job, and look at the reviews. The reviews are pouring in, and they really give you insight into the experience you are going to have in reading this book.
yeah, it was fantastic. And so again, what day is the book signing?
So again, the book signing is on Saturday, December 5th. It's at the Chapel Hills Mall at Design Your Life.
Okay. And it's
And
up
it
from
starts
11 to
at 11
7?
a.m. and it will run until 7 p.m.
11 to 7. All right, that sounds good. That's going to be good and fun, too, right there, right in the beginning of December. You know, it's going to be kind of cold and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
go in the
Like-
mall.
Yeah, it's going to
It's
be
nice and warm.
Feel like a fun time, man. So anyway, hey, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for the opportunity. That was great. I feel blessed, and I hope everything goes really well, and I hope that you sell 10 million copies of that thing, and then some.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
All right, now
Of
you take it
course.
easy. We'll
Yeah,
talk to you
thank
soon.
you.
And this is the book is called one more time.
Hush Money, How One Woman Proved Systemic Racism in Her Workplace and Kept Her Job.
All right,
All right.
fantastic, Miss Jackie. You have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Lil D's up next. We're gonna talk about the Black History Program and what he has going on. I'm about to get on the phone with him right now.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yep. See ya. All right, everybody, we're back.
Hey, yeah, this Just Cause, baby. And you know we got that South Side business that we got to take care of. Every time that Lil D got something, Miss Jen got something, I got to talk about it, man.
They actually make us talk about it.
Yeah, like they're like, hey, bro, don't play with me. Don't play.
They're like, yes, yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. So anyway, as we all know, the Smiths they got this Black History Program that has been cracking for, I think this is year 8, is it, Jen?
Year 8.
Year
Wow.
number 8 that is going on right now. So you know the persistence and the drive that it takes to do something 8 years in a row. I mean, just like, what have you done 8 years in a row? I'm like, think about that. It takes some things to make that happen. And
Dude, I gave up on raising my kids after like 3
right,
years.
yeah. Yeah, man. I'm like, shit. I don't know if I can do that long. Right.
I mean, that's why she's got a car. Just go, start her business.
Right. You just go ahead. We get her started and stop with all of the funny stuff. But anyway, man, what's up with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
We doing all right.
Okay, what y'all got going on? Talk to me about the Black History Program.
So, like you said, we've been doing it 8 years, a long time. And it's always the end of February we do it, in February. So this year falls on the 28th.
Okay.
Right, my mom's birthday.
3 o'clock at the Stargazers. We're going to see the kids performing like they always do every year. We've been at Stargazers now 3 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's a great venue, by the way. I like it in there.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah.
So this year's a little bit different because we actually like minimize the numbers of how many people. We normally have about 25 to 30 people in the show.
have a lot of kids coming back from last year, so it's amazing to see that they want to do it again.
Yeah.
So we already have 15. We're doing auditions on November 23rd, right there at the Chinook Center.
Okay.
Wait.
Yep, we're going to be doing that. And so I got it on the calendar. I already confirmed it with John.
Okay, yeah. You know, John was like,
yes.
wait a minute, I didn't see it yet. No, of course
Yeah,
that's
we got it,
happening.
we got it.
We're good to go. Yeah, so that's what's happening, man. And
Check
so what?
real quick.
Is it too late for them to get in on that, or can they still get in?
He's going to post another, just to remind them of how it's going to work out and what time, because we're going to do it based on appointments. So there won't be so many people there at one time because of COVID.
Okay.
And we're going to make sure that the kids that were in there last year, they're just telling us what they're going to do, because they don't have to audition again. They're bringing their material, and the kids that are auditioning are going to show us what they got. And so basically, we're going to determine what, based on what they're doing, if that's something that we should have in the Black History program. So the auditions are based on what they're doing, they're showing us what they got, and then we're determining if there's something that should be in the Black History program.
Oh, fantastic! All right, yeah, that's great, man. So it gives the kids a chance to be creative with their own stuff and make sure that that it's fitting the bill right there. You got to make sure. Hey, you never know if somebody. Hey, come on now, that ain't right there. Get on with it. That's not gonna cut the mustard. And everybody that know Miss Jen is not playing with none of this, man. Like, this is not a game. She runs the thing, a tight ship. Those kids are like locked in, man. Even the parents are locked in. All of the staff is locked in. You know, I was I came and did security for the last year, and I remember, Miss Jen was like, "Hey, Sean, you don't come past this point right here, because it was the babies and stuff was bad. Don't make sure you don't even come over here." Yes, indeed, and I know that she was not. That I wasn't the only one that she checked over there. So yeah, man. Hey, listen, guys. As always, I completely appreciate you guys. I try to as best I can to emulate what you do for the community, and I hope everybody is paying attention because you guys are fantastic, and we all owe you a great debt of gratitude, and we appreciate it, man. And I hope everybody's supporting this thing. The Black History program is so important to our kids and so important to our neighborhood. So important to the fabric of what this thing is turning into in K-Land and on the South Side. That these are the things that you got to participate in, guys. So hit the donate button. Make sure you go on their pages, check them out on Facebook, and donate what you can, man. $2, $3, $4, $5, $500, whatever.
Did you guys have the link for the?
Yeah, we got a live feed. We'll put the link for the that they got where their donations at on our live feed, and it's also all over my social media. And y'all know K-Land Community Cares, One Body ENT, and all of that. They're all over social media, so you'll be able to get them links and hook them up, man. So hey, did I miss anything, y'all?
D, want to say one more thing about the program.
All right, what's up, D?
So we have the auditions. Before you come to the auditions, we just need you to know that you're going to have to commit to every Sunday from that audition on down to showtime. We're not going to have you missing a whole bunch of rehearsals and all that good stuff, because that's the quickest way to get kicked out. We take it really serious each year. From the time we began to now, it has grown. And one thing that we're going to add this year that we didn't have last year is that we're going to be able to live stream it. So if you got family that's out of town, you'll be able to go
Cool.
watch the whole show.
Right.
Take it seriously, guys.
Yeah, most definitely, man. This isn't a time to play, man. We want to make sure that this stuff is it keeps the standard that has been building up all of these years, man. And these kids have done a lot of really dope stuff, man. So you can't come in there half stepping, and you got to commit to it, man, because a lot of folks are gonna commit to you and making sure that you're successful, man. So yeah, hey guys, we love you, we appreciate you, man, and we'll see y'all soon, huh?
We will definitely see you guys soon. Hopefully, I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Oh no, it's all right. What you got?
Okay, so you talked about donating. So one more thing we're going to do at the Chinook Center on Black Friday, we're going to do a Zoom-a-thon, and it's going to be a Facebook Live, the fundraiser. So we got a Black Friday, Black History fundraiser.
Okay.
Okay.
At the Chinook Center. It's at 4 o'clock. It's on the calendar.
Okay. What's the day one more
What
time?
date is that?
So it's Black Friday, November 27th. So that's that
Okay.
Friday after the
Starting at
Thanksgiving.
2 p.m., right?
Starting at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. is the meeting for the Black History, and then the fundraiser starts at 4.
Okay. All right.
We want to make sure everybody gets the meeting out of the way for the Black History. Those are the ones that made the audition, that are already in the program we meet. And then we dive right into that first fundraiser.
Natalia. Okay, that's what I was wondering. That was gonna be Natalia. All right.
Yep, that's gonna be Natalia. Finish with Natalia. You're gonna be zooming in with that.
Okay.
And the kids that are in the program are actually gonna be doing like a little preview, like a little snippet of what they're gonna be doing, where they're introducing themselves and letting you guys know what time it is. So that will be at the Chinook Center on Black Friday. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yep, the ones that can't make it, we zooming in, and it's gonna be a Facebook Live.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
Maybe Just Cause could do some live
Yeah, we
streaming
could get
too.
some Just Cause streaming in there too, so you can get your
Yes.
little Zumba on with Natalia. Natalia be getting it too, man. Natalia, she's a Southside vet, man. So she has a great thing going, and I can't wait till we can help her get that. She need to have a whole gym full of people getting the Zumba on, man. Yeah. All right, y'all. Hey, all right, then, man. We appreciate it, man. We love y'all. Thank you guys so much, and we'll be up with y'all, man. And if anything else I miss, just hit me up, and I'll get it on air before we get out of here.
Okay.
All right, and we love you, man. All right, yeah, here it goes. Southside one time, man. We got Be Free. Yo.
What's up, everybody?
We got
We're
one
back.
more, man. What's happening, man? We hope you guys are enjoying the show, man. That was great to have Miss Jackie Abram on to talk about her new book. That really does. I'm not a much of a reader. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I mean, as far as like novels and things like this, I'll read like other stuff. But anyway,
People's comments. You'll read people's comments on their social media.
Yeah, I read social media stuff. Nah, but that stuff there, I think that book right there, I want to watch it or read it. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm watching it too.
I want to watch it too. That sounds like it should be a movie, man. Hopefully it does, man. She's sounds like they put a lot of good work into it. Local people, you know what I'm saying? I'm always for the 719 getting out there in the world and making waves. So man, hopefully they do a great job with that. And then we had Lil D on there, man, just now.
Always doing things.
Always doing something, man. You got to keep, man. You listen. You
Makes
better
the
put
rest
some
of
down.
us feel so small.
Right, you got to put some roller skates on to keep up with that boy. I'm telling you, man, he's got always on the move, man. You got to have your roller skates. Then it's like the inline ones too, where you can be agile because he's about to shake and move. You know what I'm saying, and move around on you, man, and just keep you on your toes. And so, it's not any really competition at all, but I look at it as like a, you go, I go. You know what I'm saying? You go, I go. So that way, we're all always got something building this place up, man. And eventually, it's going to be a foundation up underneath this community because of all of the things that they do, and hopefully all the things that we're contributing to, and everybody around us, like here at the Family Flavors and. Things like this that are community-based operations on purpose. We're doing this thing purposely for the community, and all else be damned. We're going to handle it for ourselves, man. So speaking of that, we got some Chinookers.
Yeah, Northeast Express. Well, come on,
Yeah,
John.
what
The
is that?
Southeast Express.
The Southeast Express.
This last, I almost called it an episode. Man, wow.
Yeah, I think what is it called? The
latest issue.
Issue there. There's a volume. Yeah, the issue. So it's volume 2, issue 11. On the cover here, they got Miss Julie Ramirez, and they're talking about her temporary murals that she had put up here around the city during the election time. So it was
I saw him around town.
Yep.
Folks see him. I saw him.
Yep. She did a great job with it, man. And it's just she's just one of those people that like. I said the other day, whatever Jules touches turns to gold, man. It's like, she is involved with things that are really doing for the like, and it's not like any garbage either, you know what I'm saying? It's like real stuff that needs to be happening in the community that she has her hand in. So, yeah, congratulations to her in the Southeast. And then,
on the cover.
Yeah, on the cover there, man. It was pretty dope. And then, as we got to the meat of it here on page 6, we got a hold of one of the Chinookers on here, Shaquan Smith. Another Smith, yeah. She started the Southside Alliance out of K-Land, and man, it's just that crew has just been all over the place, bro. And they've made a real name for themselves in the activist community. And just the other day I had Nikki. She came by the place with some stuff for the Pikes Peak. The Pikes Peak suicide prevention programming that she's working with, and she's like, "So what is Southside Alliance about?" She was at the Chinook Center.
Yeah. Southside Alliance has actually eclipsed.
Yeah, like they eclipsed the Chinook Center. They are on the way to the top, man. So yeah, it's really great, man. That folks are just like hearing about different organizations that are in the South Side and that are members of the Chinook Center and that they're doing work that is making the news and making people sit down and write stories about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And if you know, the only reason that it is newsworthy is because they are doing real work in the community and actually, you know, like touching things that need to be touched and fixing things that need to be fixed and
building
you know,
up actual
networking.
community. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Networking, building up community, which is like an important part of. That's really what we're missing.
Right.
Today is like actually having strong networked communities that can take care of one another.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and the more of us that do it, you know, the better and easier it is for all of us.
Exactly.
You know, like I think it was Jen Smith that posted on her social media just recently that she says you know, you can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. You know what I'm saying? You know, if everyone gets out there and does something, it'll make the job a lot easiasier for all of us, man. So, you know.
Can I just say, this is why we need more women-led organizations.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like, that's what we get from women-led organizations.
Right, get to the
like,
real stuff.
Women, like people taking care of one another, like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, yeah, like, yes, let's do that,
That's
like
a great
mutual aid
idea.
and stuff. But I feel like that's just, you know, I don't know if it's natural, but like a lot of women-led organizations are like thinking more about those things that are like actually like taking care or helping the community. Whereas like we were just talking about earlier, Sean's like, John, just take it easy. You don't need to go down there and yell at anybody.
Those are the things that I would be focused on, like tripping with the police, man,
exactly.
or something like that. And it's like, you know, nah, guys, you know, there are other things that we need to focus on. And if we do, and when we do, we see it working. You know what I'm saying? We see it, or we see it being neglected or whatever it is. So anyway, I agree with that, man.
And that's not to say that Q's not going to be down there shouting at the cops either.
Oh man, please don't play with that. Don't play with her, man. Oh my goodness, man. But yeah, so anyway, we get to back to the Southeast Express, man. There was a mural put up in K-Land that also had to do with K-Land Community Cares, and Lil D and Jen, and
everything again.
Yeah. So over here on the page 10 of the Southeast Express, they lay out the mural for the unsung heroes, man. I'm trying to flip it here. It was named after Mr. Sam Dunlap, or you know, named.
Hey, you! We got your one! We're at the gates! We're at your door! We got the guillotine! We got the guillotine! You better...
You know, D got this thing put up, and you know, it was like the community just loved it. There was probably, I would say, I don't know, close to 200-300 folks out there at the park that you know, and obviously, you know, and the thing about it, man, is like you don't gotta tell somebody, hey, it's COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody completely understands this stuff, and we're doing the things that we need to do. So again, it was outside of the huge park, man, and they had a speaker system and stuff. So
and everybody got to put their handprint on it, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that was dope,
Like,
man. Of the artists, I don't know who thought of that, or if it was D or the artist or whatnot, but they let the whole community put their hand in and paint and like, you know, make a commitment to building the community by putting, you know, your handprint on the mural there. So it's pretty dope, man. Go check that out. Man, what is that park? I call it John Adams Park, man, but I know it has a name. Yeah, it said John Adams Park, man.
The park next to John
I
Adams
think they changed the name of it now. I think it is named John Adams Park now.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So anyway, yeah, man, it's right there in K-Land, man. You know, make sure that you go down there, show respect to it, and you know, don't do anything crazy. Pick your trash up too. Don't leave your trash over here in our neighborhood, man.
Please pick your trash up.
Yeah, hey, we're get to some Lauren Hill real quick, and we'll come right back, huh, John? Or do you want to?
I don't know. What else do we have to
Yeah,
cover?
yeah.
I'm not sure we have much else to cover. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of events going on inside the Chinook Center right now because we have this spike in COVID cases. So that's all I can think of that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna go to it. We'll get to a song real quick, and we'll get it figured out, man. We'll be right back. Just
All
cause
right.
we got Lauren Hill.
Peace.
All right, y'all. So it looks like we're gonna
Wrap things up.
go ahead and wrap her on up.
So we went a little longer today, but I think from now on, right, we're going to do the second half of the show is just going to be us playing our
Yeah, jamming, playing some music, man, and acting
Being
out.
best.
Yeah, trying to do
Being
the
best
thing.
music.
We had some call-in guests and had an opportunity to let them get in there and get it done. So yeah, but you know, in the future, it looks like we're gonna go. The first hour we're gonna talk, and the second hour we're gonna play music.
Yeah,
And,
unless we got some other special, unless there's breaking news.
breaking news, like from Wolf Blitzer, Trump has still not conceded.
So yeah, we'll break in.
The
with that.
sky is blue.
Every 2 minutes. Breaking news.
Biden is
Exactly.
president. Wait, hold on. We're waiting on Georgia in the mail-in votes.
Breaking news. We're still waiting on the mail-in votes in Georgia.
Yeah, man. Hey, so anyway, y'all, 719, we love you. We appreciate you, man. And don't forget to always rebel, man. Rebel.
Exactly. Now
Fight
jam
back.
out.
Yeah, we're going in.